Well, good morning to you, Naledi, and also to the viewers. We know that studies shows that males are more successful in death by suicide than females. Now, in South Africa alone, about 23 suicide occurs daily in South Africa, with 230 serious attempts. Now, we also know that getting someone to that point has various factors involved, like failed relationships, failed exams, financial difficulties, and the list just continues. But I am now joined by 21-year-old Hlonepho Fredericks, and I must add that she gave us permission to reveal her identity because for her it's very important to raise awareness about teenage suicide that's plaguing not only South Africa but the world in itself. Good morning to you, Hlonepho, and thank you for joining us on the agenda. You told me that previously you tried to commit suicide twice. Just take us through that. What pushed you to that point?
There's a lot of factors that pushed me, but the number one was school. So my high school, when I started high school, I ended up going to a new school, obviously, and in grade 8 I did Setswana, and I was used to doing Afrikaans all along. So while doing that, my marks dropped, and then grade 10, that's when I started being really depressed because I was like, okay, I'm struggling with this one subject, and now it's making all the other subjects difficult for me because I can't really focus and my marks are dropping. That got me worried. And then, yeah, that's where I ended up being so depressed. Didn't go to school. I was like not going to school for like 2 years because of that. And then it triggered all the other things, like my childhood where my parents divorced, and yeah.
And did you get professional help, and was it helpful at the end of the day?
Yes, after the 2 years I did get professional help. Ended up going to a psychiatric hospital, and that's where they helped me. Well, us being there, it's not just like a normal hospital where you're on a drip. All you do is go to the toilet and go back to bed again. It was a place where there were activities like group therapy sessions, where we'd also do like activities. We'd paint, we'd draw, we'd write down what we think about ourselves, and people would also write down how they feel about us and what they think about us. So it was a great experience, and it helped me a lot.
Also, how are you assisting others to raise awareness about teenage suicide?
There's a picture that I once took in 2018 where I had my scars after cutting myself. When I posted it, people were like, okay, what's going on, what's happening? And I was like, I was going through a rough time, and I decided that, okay, I can't anymore. So I did that, landed in hospital. After years, I realized that it wasn't worth it. So when I meet, there's a few people around me that are close to me that are also suicidal. So me telling them that, okay, this is not worth it. I even show them my scars that, okay, look at my scars. I tried doing it. I failed. So it's not worth it. I just like motivate them to do better, or tell them to, okay, rather try some breathing exercises if you're suffering from anxiety, or just take a walk or listen to music, not depressing music, music that will uplift your mood.
And we know that social media itself is also one of the contributing factors that might even push someone to that point. And I know teenagers nowadays suffering of anxiety and mental health issues. But for you as someone who tried it before, do you think there is enough professional assistance for teenagers?
I feel like the problem is that people don't really know about depression and anxiety. Like, people around me, they just think that, okay, they're just sad, because there's a difference between being sad and being depressed. So being sad is just a feeling that you'll get over maybe in a few minutes, a few hours, or maybe a day. And being depressed takes maybe a week, can be a month, it can be years. So to them, it's like they don't have, they don't really know about getting professional help. Then now I do, because my father also suffers from depression. So he first went to the hospital, and then he told me about the hospital.
Just lastly, Tlhonepo, we know that statistics in South Africa and also around the world, when it comes to suicide, is very high. What advice would you give someone at this point who is thinking of taking his, their own lives?
My advice would be never give up, because everything happens for a reason. Might be that in a week a lot of things can happen to you that can cause you to like feel so sad and so low. But the truth is, there's no happiness without any pain or suffering, because I went through all the pain, I went through all the suffering, and look at where I am today. I'm happy. My family supports me, and I'm just doing well at school at this point.
Thank you very much, Tlhonepo, for sharing your story with us, and all the best on this journey, and also to raise more awareness about teenage suicide in South Africa and also around the world. Well, Naledi, that was Tlhonepo Fredericks, 21-year-old here in Kimberley, sharing her experience when she tried to commit suicide previously twice, telling us that it was because of school. And also we know that people are always encouraged not to be judgmental towards others who are taking this route, and also not to lecture others on the value of life and how good or bad life can be, and also not to encourage others to dare doing it.